Welcome to host the Dekalb SuperSpiel. Shaw TV's live coverage will include back-to-back men's and women's finals, beginning with the women's final this afternoon. Then we'll go to the men's final in a back-to-back situation. Hello, everyone. I'm Resby Coots. I'll be the broadcaster for today's game on Shaw TV. And with me, Lauren Hamlin, who is going to be our color commentator, our analyst today, also the organizer of the Bonspiel. And let's start first, just the Bonspiel in general. Lauren, 10th anniversary, a wonderful accomplishment for the community and the committee.
Well, and it's especially exciting to have so many involved and so many teams from across Canada and the world. We've got 40 teams this year, and the history of this event is rich.
You've had some challenges this year specifically because of so much in the schedule, the pre-trials and the trials, so entries down a bit, but you're optimistic for next year.
Well, and that's the history of the Olympic curling. They go in quadrennial cycles, so there's a lot less teams playing this year, and we anticipate everybody back drying for that spot in 2022.
As we speak, the men's semifinals are on the ice, so we don't know who will be broadcasting later today in that men's final, but we do know this women's final is a Manitoba-Saskatchewan game between Penny Barker of Saskatchewan and Brianne Mayer of Manitoba, and we understand these two teams have never played each other, which makes for a very interesting final game, doesn't it?
Well, and to have the Scotties champion from Saskatchewan here and Brianne, who had just a terrific road to the Roar in Summerside, playing each other, it's going to be exciting to watch.
Now, you've done a lot of coaching nationally and internationally and provincially. What do you tell a team going out on the ice against someone they have never played before? Is it different from what you might say when they've played them 4 or 5 times?
Absolutely. If they know the other team and they played them, they'll have their strategies. They'll understand the other team's strengths and weaknesses. But in this case, they'll play their own game plan. They will proceed with it, and then between ends, they'll discuss developments. Are they seeing something in the opposition, and what are their opportunities that they could exploit?
It's going to be an exciting game. Penny Barker, Saskatchewan, Brianne Mayer, Manitoba, in the women's final of the 10th annual Dekalb SuperSpiel.
Every year, over 1 million Canadian kids write to Santa, and Santa writes back. It's a big job delivering all those letters, so Canada Post has hired some special letter carriers to help out. They have lots of experience making deliveries, and they definitely know the way to the North Pole. Hey, there's Rudolph and the guys now.
This way, guys.
Write to Santa Claus, North Pole, HOH, OHO, Canada. Include your return address, and Santa will write back.
Well, welcome back to the Morris Curling Club. Resby Coots with Lauren Hamlin in the lounge level, upper level of the Morris Curling Club, as our teams have gone through the pregame practice ritual, and the first rock is underway. The Barker team, the Saskatchewan team, does have last rock given awarded to them on the basis of the fact that they have qualified for this final game undefeated. They have a 5-0 record C event qualifier, so she got 2 losses against 4 wins. And Lauren, just to get things rolling, an opening rock into the rings, and that wouldn't surprise you at all.
No, especially on 2 teams that haven't played against each other. They don't know what their strengths and weaknesses are. So that first rock in, I see them playing a pretty simple open end.
Lorraine tight.
So as I say, that first one into the rings, and the lead for Barker's team, Danielle Sasinski, the routine obvious hit as well, and it'll be a routine end as they feel each other out, especially never having played each other. No idea what the other will do.
Well, and they're going to want to use their corners, try and roll to the outside, and get through this end and get their shots.
9, firm. Okay, Sarah. Good. Hey.
Sarah Neufeld, the lead for Brianne Mayer's team, and she makes the hit, rolls away.
Now Penny's going on to put on a corner guard. She's got the opportunity to set up that corner and then see where the game goes from there.
No, just didn't extend. Okay, we're going right in though. Okay.
Saskatchewan second stone. Lorraine Schneider now, and Penny Barker asked her to go behind that wide corner guard.
And that's normal with a lot of teams where they'll put that guard with their seconds first, and then in the seconds last shot is when they'll go around that corner guard, see if they can set up an end. And
Hey, I'll keep my weight up a bit here. Yeah.
It's almost wide open down there. Certainly, Brianne Knapp has the opportunity to play as the left-hander, her intern.
yeah, from where she's at about 3/4, she'll throw the weight.
This one, you're same? Same turn.
So Brianne Knapp will throw, as she's made clear, the same turn. Playing the run back, and as Brianne Mayer has indicated, the good miss is if she hits it high, she rolls to the rings at least. Just overcurled, a little underthrown perhaps, Lauren?
It looked good out of her hand, and then they did pick it up early, so I think they probably got a bit of surprise on how quickly it took off, because her weight looked good. So now they're going to try and split the house.
Third, Deanna Doig. A second opportunity to put that rock in the rings.
That's starting to go already, guys. Already moving. Keep it moving. Yep. Wait there. Make sure it's out there. Keep it clean. He's perfect. He's perfect.
It's great sweeping on that shot.
Third, Doig learned from her first one. She puts it right on the tee line with the help of the sweepers. They didn't have to overexert themselves, but
And they've played obviously games all week between here and Rosenort, but this one was timed at 14:03. So if you can get that 14 and a half second ice, it gives the sweepers a lot of opportunity to do things with their brushers.
skip Brianne Mayer. Her first shot of the game. Out turn hit. Just picks it out.
Yeah, she got a piece of it, so they'll come down again. Maybe the ice is a little bit more curl. We saw that on Brianne's shot, just moved a little more, but they did jump it out of her hand. So
Penny Barker with the opportunity now to again split the rings, throw that second rock to the far side of the rings, get to the tee line.
I don't want to. Starting to go. We're there, Dee. Okay? Just watch it. It's starting to go. Hard. We're all there. T plus. T plus. T plus. T plus.
So drags to the back of the rings, but it does hang on.
just hang on. She threw this one a little bit quicker. That one timed at a 13-3, but dug in on the corner. So the other one they swept. So gives her the opportunity to split the house, and Brianna's hoping to stick on this and then make a difficult takeout for two.
We're close, Steve. T-line. Looks like it.
Schneider and Sosinski, they sweep that rock into the rings. They want to get it as close to the tee line, and it does sit on the tee line.
And great communication with the sweepers to put that rock on the tee line. And this one, she wanted it on the tee line. If she gets the long roll, then she'll be behind the tee line, which will allow Penny to draw to it. And the sweepers make the shots, contrary to what people think, where the shooter makes the shots. Sweepers are such a huge, huge part of any team.
Okay, try to get the roll.
10?
9, just because it's such a far roll, yeah.
Okay.
First shot of the second end for Brianne Mayer. Attempting to hit the long roll. Even with a perfect roll, she really won't be behind the other one, but she will be in front of the red one that's behind the rings. And
No. Big roll.
Big roll.
makes the hit. And she says she wants the big roll.
Hard. You got it hard.
So close. She commented on when they're talking about the weight she was going to throw. She wanted to throw that 9-second hog-to-hog weight, which gives their sweepers an opportunity to work with the rock. She threw a 9-1-7, and these teams spent a lot of time perfecting that takeout weight and their brushing technique. And she was within a quarter of an inch of the perfect roll on top of that red one behind the card.
Barker now with her last rock. She'll attempt to hit and roll, and she can roll, biting the outside of the ring, fully buried.
Time 5. Whoa. Lorraine, a bit. Just roll it in. Keep going, Lorraine. That's fine. Okay, let's go.
Nose hit, wide open.
Yep, she threw a normal 9-5. If she could have got the roll, would have been in a forced position, but with a 2-point lead, the number one priority is to get that shot, hit the rock first, and then the roll would have been a bonus.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So with last rock of the second end, Brianne Mayer will attempt to blank the end. An in-turn hit. Across the hog line, makes the contact, rolls away a blank end. So with 2 ends complete in the women's final of the Dekalb 10th anniversary Superspiel, it is Penny Barker of Saskatchewan, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, leading by a score of 2-0. We'll be right back from the Morris Curling Club with the third end. Well, we're back with the third end, and it is 2-0 for the Barker team. They score a deuce on the opening end, one miss that turned into a deuce on that opening end, followed by a blank by the Mayer team, and Barker, with her opening rock, will simply go to the rings again, Lauren.
Yeah, she wants to go that top 4, top button position on the center line. Brianne will throw the corner in. And Brianne got the miss in the second end, but Barker's team came up with a fine double to get them out of trouble.
So this is lead Danielle Szynski, opening rock of the third end.
Line's really good, just all you guys. Top 4, make it good. Line's really nice. Right up if you can, right up.
Just to 3.
Full 12, full 12 then, full 12.
That's fine.
fine.
And you heard Penny talking about the top four. With the amount of movement on this ice, they don't want that rock to become a guard. So she wants top four, top button, because that may be the rock that ends up scoring as they get into the end. Now with that rock up front, it's give Brianne an opportunity to make the shot more difficult.
Line's good. Five.
Well, with Brianne Knapp actually holding the room for this opening shot, Sarah Neufeld's call is a out-turn draw around the guard, going to the forefoot. Does that surprise you, Lauren?
No, that's the way the game is played today. I mean, they're going to try and control that top of the forefoot, get in behind a little bit deep. So had it been in front of the four line, in front of the tee line, we would have seen the run back. But now there's an opportunity to put one on top of that forefoot and cut down Brianne's scoring zone.
So after a couple of relatively routine ends, the teams now are indicating that they're ready to play.
Well, the leads control the tempo of the game, and with Penny's lead coming up in front of the house instead of top four, that changed the opportunity that Brianne decided to go with. She could have thrown another corner, but then she would have been chasing the yellow around that center guard. So she elected to do this, and now they're coming in to try and freeze on top of that.
Danielle Sosinski, her second shot of the end, does slide to bite the button.
Yeah, she's got some good angles, but it didn't quite finish as much as she wanted. So with just backline weight, if Sarah can get, or Brianne can get that hit and roll, it's going to put some pressure on.
Yeah, you can do hack if you like that.
I like
if it looks
back line.
good. Back line? Okay.
Back line, yeah.
Draw tap.
Yeah.
It's going to stay in the rings.
Yeah.
Sarah Neufeld, second shot of the end. The call, Lauren, is a very gentle, as she said, a draw tap, hoping to, once you pass that top guard, curl just that little bit more and bump it back and roll to the center line.
Yeah, and even if she just hits it nose and she bumps it straight back, juggles that back red, juggles that back yellow, she's just trying to build a wall back there with the yellows.
Knapp and Vachon on the sweep. Just going to rub that top guard that little bit, rolls across into the 8-foot circle.
And that's probably what we'd call a good miss. Gets another rock in the rings. Anytime you got rock in the rings early in the end, the other team's got to be careful because those can come back to bite you pretty quick.
Second, Lorraine Schneider. An in-turn hit. Attempt to remove the red rock and roll to the center line.
Now we get a little more room on that guard to get that soft hit and roll. Probably she's throwing the same weight. She indicated the hack weight shot. Just wants to get about 2 inches on the inside of that rock to get that roll.
appeared to come up just a little more than anticipated, and she got a straight back, but came out of it okay.
Yeah, she's on the top. She got the top position of the forefoot, and my sense is the way they jumped it, either she realized the ice wasn't quite what she wanted, or it moved quicker.
You just see on the replay, she just overcurled that bit and ran the red back onto yellow, but removed that second red stone as well as the yellow.
Yeah, now Brienne's trying for that soft hit and inside roll. Even if she gets a quarter buried, she doesn't want to leave it there on the nose hit.
Hard sweep to get it past that center line guard. She's not going to make it past. Moves the guard out of play and rolls across the corner of the 12-foot.
Okay. Good weight. Thanks.
Well, from this angle, at least apparently not biting.
Appears that rock out. You'll notice Penny on this one. She wants to hit it, but she doesn't mind. She wants to roll wide. She doesn't like those rocks to give them something to draw to. Even if she rolls out, she'd be quite happy with that, because then she's moved the game in front of that tee line.
Deanna Doig with her first shot of this third end.
Gotta get it to center. Gotta get to center. Oh, you got it. Yep. Keep going. Keep going.
Got a little bit full. They tried to bring it back, and now the opportunity for Brienne is she wants to get a hit and roll, and probably as wide as just biting the 8-foot to get as much separation as she can.
Red rocks, the Manitoba stone is counting at this point, but the call is to remove this yellow Saskatchewan stone from biting the top of the forefoot, and as Lauren has said, roll as wide as possible. You want to be second shot. Brienne Knapp with her first shot of this end.
Great shot, and you know when you hear them on, off, you know they're very, very close and throw it. She's got the separation. If she does make this double, she'll probably roll a shooter out, which then opens up the blank opportunity for Brienne.
You see on the replay, she gets the hit and rolls not quite as far as she wanted to, but certainly got a good roll off that center line hit. And now Deanna Doig with her second shot of this third end. There's contact on the first, on the second. Leaves that one rock in play in the back of the forefoot. And Brienne will split the rings.
Yeah, you looked at Brienne. She gave her team both options. If she can tuck just behind that yellow, can she set up the 3? She's looking at possible hit and roll, or going wide on the right side, which is probably the easier shot and safer when it's only the third end of the game, because the deuce is pretty important right here.
This is a situation, Lauren, where the shot has to be made, however, isn't it? Because if this one happens to go a little deep, Barker's got something to work with on the other side of the rings.
Absolutely, she does it, and it's huge to make the shot. When you get an opportunity to make that kill shot, you want to do it, and the sweeper swept it to a perfect position.
Perfect, directly across, no double possible.
Yeah. Yeah, so what Penny will try to do in this one is just kind of roll it part way across, and this will kind of be a setup, hoping that Brienne might nose hit on the next one and give her a simpler shot for a double on the next one. That was a well-swept rock by Brienne's team to set up that deuce.
You good? Okay. Penny Barker with her first rock of the end. Playing that role, as she said, as Lauren has described, over two and makes contact. And the double wasn't ever going to be possible, but it does bring them very close together. So as you see here on the replay.
And if you saw the weight she threw on this one, she threw a 9-second on her last takeout coming in the last end. This one she upped her weight because she had to hit more of the rock to get a higher roll, and it's a great setup shot. It's as good as she could do, and she's hoping for a nose hit here, which will give her an opportunity to get out of this end.
Brianne Mayer, on the other hand, wants to hit and roll back across the center line, staying even with the red rock, but getting maximum possible separation.
Yep, she'd like to be almost in behind that yellow guard, and then would leave them no opportunity to make a double on her.
First rock of the third end for Brianne Mayer. An out turn hit, wanting to hit the roll center line side.
Roll it. Yep. There we go. Great shot.
It's a great shot. Great line call. Doesn't appear to be any doubles, so she'll throw this. No, there might be.
She's in the situation now where she doesn't have to actually make the kill on the second rock. She just got to move it 6 or 8 inches to bring the yellow one in the top of the rings into play.
Yep, and it is high enough that shot is there. It's hard to tell from this angle whether the rocks were deep enough, but I think that shot is there. So if she throws the same weight and hits about the same spot, she's going to be pretty close.
Final shot of the third end for Penny Barker. Contact, roll, and just rolls behind. Had to curl up just a little bit more, Lauren.
Yep, and they thought she was close. She threw a 742 on that one, which was the more weight she wanted to get the action, and it just didn't move quite as much as the first.
See, as it makes contact here, it just rolls behind the back of that other stone.
Yeah, now Brianne, they're discussing the weight, discussing the line. The front end sweepers will be talking about the weight out here to see, just to make sure that ice hasn't changed and she can throw that draw to take opportunity to get her deuce back.
Like 14.5-ish even.
Yeah, they're talking about that 14.5 weight.
So after giving up a deuce in the opening end and blanking the second, Brianne Mayer now is in a position to draw full to the 8-foot circle for a deuce and tie game after 3.
Line's good. Little tighter line than Sarah's. Line should be fine. We got lots of room. This might get into a new impact.
Rashawn and Neufeld, the sweepers, not working particularly hard, just keeping the slide path clean.
Let it go.
And that rock is a 4-foot, back 4-foot, fight the back of the button for a deuce. Mayer and her Manitoba team from Fort Rouge score a pair in the third end to tie Penny Barker and her Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan team 2-2 after the third end in the final game of the women's final game of the 10th anniversary Dekalb SuperSpiel. We'll be back with the fourth end in just a minute. It was a crowd-pleasing shot, Penny Barker, a hit through a pretty narrow port on an extra end to defeat Ashley Howard. A lot of emotion coming out of a shot like that.
Yeah, it was a really tight port to fit through, and I thought we had lost it there for a minute, and I'm just happy the sweepers were able to hold it that little bit longer, and just kind of hold your breath and hope for the best. And it was a great team shot, and we're happy to be playing in the final. An important victory for a team like yourself. You're going to have to play and beat Ashley Howard to go back to the Scotties. So anytime you get to play them, you want to beat them. Yeah, for sure. And you know, we're good friends with all the teams too. So, I mean, but on the ice, we're playing for the Scotties, and yeah. So this is kind of just that warm up for provincials. So we just want to play in every game. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We just want to play our best and work hard at getting back to that Scotties.
This final game, I understand you've never played, Brianne.
I don't think I have. Maybe I did a long time ago, but honestly, we didn't play a whole lot last year until winning the provincials. So we didn't do a lot of spieling. So, maybe we played way back when, but I think it might be the first time.
Two teams, strangers to each other, a Manitoba team, a Saskatchewan team. You're watching the Dekalb SuperSpiel Women's Final on Shaw TV. Well, we're back in the fourth end, the mid-game end, and the Manitoba team starts with a very long guard. Did they intend to be that far out, Lauren?
No, Brianne tapped. She wanted that one just kind of between the Dekalb logo and the front of the house, kind of a tight guard, give an option. And now with that long guard on the amount of movement on the ice, they are going to go around it, but the guard is a mental guard versus a real guard, because there's lots of room for movement to make any kind of nose hit behind that guard.
So that kind of a miss changes the end a lot, even though it's the first shot of the end.
Absolutely it does, and that's what we can emphasize enough that long before the four-rock rule, the leads weren't as significant a part of any time the game, but now they absolutely control the tempo of the game. And how the lead goes is how the end goes, and that's why you'll see teams bailing early or going to a different plan. Because if the leads don't set up that end, then they'll have the alternate plan to look for blanks or simple deuces. There was great weight on this shot, and they're coming down now with the take card with lots of room on it.
Just through. Okay, 10. Whoa. 10. Close. 10. Whoa. Yes. 9. Yes. Hard. 9. Whoa. Go.
Neufeld makes that in-turn tap past the center guard, pushes the Barker stone back, but it stays in the rings, biting.
And those little biters can be an opportunity, and so Penny's wanting to try and get that inside roll again on this long guard. And you heard the girls talking about the weight, significant weight, back to the sweeper, back to the skip, coming down, so she knows the movement of the rock as it comes into the house.
Lead to Danielle Szynski. Curtis Rexidler is sitting beside us, keeping track of percentages and shooting percentages, and Danielle has been curling at an 81% rate. That rub on the guard won't improve her stats significantly.
And now Brianne's looking. She has the option to throw in the guard, but she's going to throw the guard. She looked at going wide, which puts them in the forced position, and by putting the guard up, she leaves the opportunity for that yellow to count. So she likes that other option in the house. She doesn't have hammer. Force is a great win for her.
It's so high too.
It's hard for them to use their corner.
Does she think we're saying peel the guard?
No.
Yep.
Is that what she thinks she means?
Brianne, we think center guard, hey?
Yeah, we could do that too.
Okay.
I like that actually the best. Let's do that.
Yeah. That's, okay, thanks. She thought we meant she didn't hear us right.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Pretty good here. Yeah. Halfway.
Wait a minute. Brianne in front. Brianne in front.
I'll be in front.
Okay, 2, 3. Lots of room.
2.
It's got to cross the line.
3.
Might have to bring it in.
Okay.
Yeah, no line. Bring it in.
Hard. Go.
Yep. Hard. Hey, Wolf, right there's fine. It's going to be second shot. Okay.
Okay, that's good. We meant the center guard the whole time.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not. Actually, I don't think it is. So. I don't think it's fully in. Line 5.
So she's looking at running it, hit and roll into the corner to set up that second guard. A second rock in the house. Put that corner and try and bring that back yellow into play.
Can we just go down, wait a little bit?
Yeah. Or do you guys just want to play just high?
Would we?
Double these.
Will we be in or no?
We wouldn't be in the house, but it would be splittable.
I like this shot. I just like less weight.
Okay, yeah. 10?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Weight is critical in any shot, and they want to make sure that they're both on the same page, because that determines where the broom goes down. And she shows that they've elected to play that back rock and to dump it into the, trying to get the roll behind the corner, which can set up a possible 3. She got the nose hit. Brianne wants to sit there on the nose. If she comes a little in, gets the back double, that's even better. See on the replay, just started the roll. Just need another inch higher and she would have got the roll. Good throw, exactly where she wanted to roll to. Penny still wants to get behind that corner guard. So she's going to try that again. She's going to move over to the other turn, give me a little more room in the guard. She can tuck behind that corner, then she puts some pressure on Brianne. A little bit softer weight. She threw the 983, wanted that bit of movement, and she got it. To get that perfect roll on that longer guard, it's so precise. But it was a good throw, and so she got about 3/4 of the rock she's looking at. She wants to be careful where she rolls.
Yeah. Okay, love.
Brianne now. Out turn for Brianne, the left-hander. And past the guard. She'll get hit. A little bit of a roll to the center line.
She wanted that bumper weight. She threw that just in that 10.5 second range. It's coming. Gets the hit and the roll. I think it's lined up pretty good. I think they're going to jam on that double, depending how they hit it. But it rolled to a pretty good position.
If we're just playing the top one.
And so Penny actually is looking at, she may not actually be looking at double as much as she's looking at hit and roll behind the guard as her primary shot.
Yeah, it's early enough in the end. If she can get that roll behind the corner, it switches the pressure to the other team.
Does get the contact, and she did take that yellow one out from the back of the rings, but rolls behind the guard.
Yeah, she got a great roll and so close. So the one sweeper's on the roll. Yeah, so that jam was there. I don't think she could have hit that any better. If she hits it thinner, she loses her shooter. That back rock would have gone wider. But the great roll now forces Brianne into a draw.
She'll try to go behind the 2, the long.
7, 8. Line's dead. 8.
Yeah.
No. Are we through? Maybe. We're really not coming down.
Let's go behind that long red guard and then corner behind the counter in the top of the rings as well. But Brianne Knapp a little bit heavy on her draw. Doesn't get the berry. She's going to come deep. Appears to be a biter at the back of the rings, but really is almost irrelevant at this stage of the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Penny has made the choice here that she can go wide and go for a deuce, but she's elected to go behind that corner guard again, which sets up a 3 opportunity.
Deanna Doig.
Line on me right now. Reach down.
Her second drop of this 4th end.
Okay, well there. Okay. All there. All there. 7 backing. 7 backing. Yes.
A little bit lighter. It gets that curl just a little better and comes deep, however.
That one came in at a 14-1-2 with a little bit of sweeping. So 14-5 is what they've been talking about for weight. And with the 14-5, you can put the booms on it. This one, as Resby said, just slid a little bit deep. So Brianne gets the opportunity to come in on there. She wants to half bury around the tee line, but if she sits back on that frozen one, on the yellow one, that gets her out of the end.
Brianne Mayer's first rock of this 4th end.
Line's close. 7. Line's good.
I didn't feel that heavy. I didn't feel heavy.
Do you need backing? Do you need backing? No.
Where is it? Let her know.
7. Okay. Line's good then.
Wait on me.
Line's great.
7, 8. Yeah, finish hard. Finish hard. Hard.
That was the difference on the sweeping and the weight. She threw a 15 on that one. The sweepers had an opportunity. Still gives Penny a chance to hit and roll to the open side, but it's a delicate shot. So they're going to listen to the sweepers talk to their skip about the weight they want to throw on this one.
Between backline and half. Okay. A couple feet more than backline.
Okay. Okay. There's a foot or so between yellow and red?
Oh, there's quite a bit.
There's quite a bit?
There's
Okay.
2 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty much T-line.
So T-line is about 14.5, 14.6.
Okay.
So what are you thinking, 14? Or a little
I
more
think
than
I
that?
throw like 13-8.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that, 13.8. Yeah.
I think I need a touch more. Yeah.
Penny Barker. First shot of this end. Barker does have last rock. Hard sweep to get it past the guard, but they're not going to make it past the guard. They will contact, rub and roll away.
Penny threw a 13-1 on that ice, so this, which is the weight she wanted to throw. So the discussion when she gets back to talk with her advice will be, was her ice right? Did we throw it well? And so in case she has that opportunity again on the next shot, she wants to make sure she understands if the throw was good, we need to adjust the broom, or we're off the broom a little bit.
So Brianne Mayer goes to the hack. Her desire now to throw a rock on the tee line, other side of the rings, split the rings. and force Barker to a single point, which, given the way the end went, Lauren, if she can force a single here, this is a very successful end for the Manitobans.
Yeah, and Brianna's in a bit of trouble. If Penny sneaks around on that last rock and takes that one out and rolls over the tee line, then she's looking at a possible 3. So she's quite relieved that she has the opportunity to set up this force. But she's got to make the shot. She knows her draw weight. She just threw it.
Wait only. 8 is perfect. All you. 6. Take. Can we leave it high then?
For Sean and Neuffelder, the sweepers.
Just full 12 then.
Line's good, all you.
Just full 12.
Line's great.
High. Whoa then. Whoa then. Leave it high.
Slides into the top of the range and bite the 8-foot. Full 8-foot circle.
Good communication with the sweepers coming down. They wanted behind the tee line with those rocks exactly opposite, so there's no chance of a double. And so by about the time they got to that SuperSpiel logo, they were talking about, okay, it's not tee line, so we want to stop that one top 12, just as for second shot, to make that double more perfect. Now she's put it in a position where it's kind of a teaser rock. Should we play it? Shouldn't we play it? And awfully, that's a great thing to put into the opposition mind, because you've got to decide on which shot you're playing.
We've had our chance 9-5. Well, she did this exact
So this is a risk and reward decision, isn't it, Lauren? There's it's a difficult double, but the angle is there that she might make the double and count 3. If she makes contact with 1 and gets rid of it, she gives up 1. So not a bad time of the game to make this decision.
No, I think it's a very good time. She's throwing them well. Certainly she doesn't have to stick on the double if she can for 3, and giving up 1 isn't the end of the world. And in this situation, if she can make this, she's got a great opportunity to take control of the game.
So it is Penny Barker, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. She will throw an outturn hit, attempting a double. She can't hit very much of the rock, but if she can make the right contact, she's playing for a 3, possible 2. Sasinski and Schneider on the sweep. She's very close. Bang, bang, 4-3. Penny Barker scores a 3, unless that one on the top of the rings is also biting. But
yeah, they took a quick look at it and they didn't, but a great shot for 3.
So the score now is 5-2 for Barker of Saskatchewan over Mayer of Manitoba.
Earlier in the week, Resby had a chance to talk with the Rosenort School Vice Principal Tyler Cornelson, and we'll be right back with that conversation, and then with another conversation with Trish Jordan of Monsanto.
Standing in front of a trophy cabinet that doesn't have a curling trophy in it. And there's no curling club in this town, so that's not surprising. Might we ever see a curling trophy in this cabinet?
Well, hopefully. I mean, I know that's been the aim of Lauren and Chris, is to start a curling program here in Rosenort. Initially, we've been exposing the kids to curling, the ones that haven't maybe had that chance before to do any curling, and so hopefully one day maybe we will have a provincial curling trophy here.
Tell me about the program.
So Rosenort's been doing it now for 2 or 3 years. Chris and Lauren and an awesome team of volunteers has our kids once per week, and we load the bus and we go to Morris, and they get instructed on basic curling techniques and balance, and have a chance to do some practice as well. So,
what do the kids think of the sport?
They love it. They have the chance to get out of the classroom for a morning and do something a little bit different, and they have a lot of fun. At the end of the year, we normally team up with the Morris School, and we do a little bonspiel between the grade 5-6 classes, and that's always a really good time.
It's got to be a challenge, though, as they say, no curling club in the town, and the transportation. Has it been a challenge to create that transportation and all the rest of it?
No, the school division's been really good about that, and our principal makes sure that we have a bus available every week. And yeah, no, it's been, because we're so close to Morris, they have that great facility there. It hasn't been too bad.
Someday, a provincial curling championship from Rosenort. We'll watch more of the Dekalb SuperSpiel in just a moment. Trish Jordan is the Vice President of Public and Industry Affairs for Monsanto. But more importantly in this context, at least more importantly for curling fans, a great curling friend. Trish, 10th anniversary of the Dekalb SuperSpiel. You've been involved personally as well, right from the beginning. 10 years of anything is an accomplishment.
Yeah, it does take a large commitment, but this is something that's been really important to us. Curling's important to our farm customers, and so it just seems like a natural fit. And I think Morris, being a community that's close to Winnipeg, it's, you know, easy to stay connected and be close to the people that are involved.
You've seen this Bonspiel grow from modest beginnings to a pretty spectacular event.
Yeah, it has, and you know that's largely attributable to Lauren and Chris Hanlon and their group of volunteers. You know, the time and effort that they put into really elevating this spiel and making it, you know, something that's important on the World Curling Tour map. I know it's something that they're pretty proud of, and it's just great for us to be able to be involved with it as well.
The other night, opening night, a volunteer reception, you actually honored, I believe, 27, certainly a very large number of people who have been 10-year volunteers.
Mm-hmm. And again, that's just testament to the commitment that this community puts into making this event not only important for the community, but important for the members in and around here and the curlers themselves.
In the end, though, it's a business decision to sponsor an event like this. Is it a difficult decision? What are the challenges?
Well, I think, yeah, anytime you're trying to make an investment, you know, there's always a shortage of money and never a shortage of good ideas. So we get asked to sponsor a lot of things, you know, in the community, from rural projects to things like curling, and you know, you just have to look at it every year. But we like these long-standing relationships because, again, it allows you to build relationships with the people that are involved, and then it makes it more meaningful for us, and it makes it more meaningful, I think, for the people that we're supporting.
10 years of the Dekalb SuperSpiel. Much appreciation to Monsanto and Dekalb brand for their sponsorship, and we'll be right back with the fifth end.
It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
If you got content, we got a place for it. Hit up Create TV at shaw.ca.
We're back at the Morris Curling Club, the upper level lounge, watching the women's final of the 10th anniversary Dekalb SuperSpiel. A dramatic turn of events in the fourth end. Penny Barker and her Saskatchewan team had taken advantage of a miss in the opening end and scored a deuce. Brianne Mayer blanked the second end, scored a deuce on the third end, and then what we described, Lauren, as a high-risk, high-reward kind of a call. It wasn't a real difficult double kill, but any double kill, the angle has to be right, and Penny Barker threw that one perfectly for the three to go up 5-3 after four ends.
Yeah, and to stick on that was a huge bonus, and when Penny looked at that shot, because of the position of the back one, it was a very difficult shot to hit and stick for one. She hadn't thrown her draw I'm not sure she has thrown her draw yet, but she threw two hits in the last end, so she had to stay with the hit, and giving up one wasn't bad, but she threw it perfect. They swept it well and put a big, that biter was in, because I just see that biter was in, so that was for four.
Close to four, and that it was now a huge risk-reward opportunity, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, our angles weren't good on that biter, so there was no decision, not even a measure. So obviously it was in, and so now Brianne's going to throw the corner. Penny their lead made a bit of a mistake, putting them back 12, but But they're going to, Brianne's got to look at, take some chances. But if she can get a deuce back, lots of time left, she's right in where she's still in the game.
That's really the key, isn't it? Is not to overreact. I mean, you have to react. Obviously, you're down 4. You have to change your plans a little bit, but you don't want to overreact. And a deuce with a steal of 1 and another steal of 1, and you've tied it. So,
well, and the toughest part on this end, and the stats will show you that when you give up a big end, and in that 75% range, the next end is a steal, because your team is a little bit down, not quite as focused, and so it's very, very important that Brianne makes sure she gets her 1 this end. And if you're back in your game, 1, and if the other team misses 1, that's 2. If they miss 2, that's 3. So she needs to make sure she gets her 1, and hope for an opportunity to get more than that.
Pair of yellow rocks in the center of the rings, both behind the tee line, 1 in the 4-foot, and so Brianne Mayer asks lead Sarah Neufeld to throw her draw around the corner guard into the top of the 12-foot into the 8-foot.
Yeah, and that's where she wants to be, because you know that Penny's going to play the peel, and Brianne will hope that when she peels that 1 rock will stay out front, then she'll go around that other corner and set up some opportunities.
She does fully bury behind the tee line in the 8-foot circle, and Penny Barker immediately moves to remove that guard.
Yeah, that was a great draw on the tee line, fully buried.
Lorraine Schneider in turn hit to remove the guard. She'll roll away completely out of play, which is what she wants to do in this situation.
Yeah. So Brianne's looking at the options with her team. Do I make a move on that one or throw 1 more corner guard? She's decided to make, if she can hit this one and roll wide, then she set up the deuce. If she gets the back double, that's a bonus, but she doesn't mind leaving that back yellow rock there.
I don't know. I think with the score, yeah, it's true. It's a bit early to keep 2 early.
Okay. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I like it just later.
Yeah, that was the team discussion on a shot. Is it too early to play that hit? Because that hit, you know, if they throw another corner, Penny's going to peel that corner, and so they maybe wait till that third shot to make the move.
3, 4.
Second, Janelle Vachon.
Just in right now. Just in right now. Are we not to it? To it. We're to it now. We're bumping.
She's gone deep from the guard position, right to the rock in the 8-foot circle.
She wanted the, obviously she wanted the guard. Position may not be bad. It's hard to tell with the angle whether that will scoop between. It looks like it should go. If she can catch a third of that rock, then everything will go. So it's a bit of a mistake not to get that guard up front.
Okay. She said peel, right? Yeah, I just want to make sure. Okay.
She's going to throw peel weight on this one.
Out-turn peel for Lorraine Schneider. And as you saw from that overhead angle, if contact happens properly, that both rocks will go bang, bang, and rolls across behind the rock in the 4-foot circle.
A great shot. She threw a 7.5-second peel, and with the keen ice and the lively rocks, you can see how she hits it on the path and the sweeping, and then went down under the house.
Looked like it stopped, but it didn't. It didn't roll out.
I was sure it had gone out of the house.
That's what we call a slow motion replay.
That was.
So now the call for Janelle Vachon is to play to the shot rock in the 4-foot circle.
Her freeze is the first option. Bump back 2 feet, build a wall behind, make that shot. This one appears to be over curling a bit. Oh, so now she's looking at plan B.
Just a little down.
Does go deep, but
yeah,
there is no backing on it, and then Barker will remove it.
Yeah, and I heard them say a little bit down, so obviously they wanted to play that bump back just to build the wall. So if they get that, they wanted to bump that yellow rock kind of back even with the other one and sit dead in front of 2 rocks. Makes for a more difficult shot.
So now it's Deanna Doigan, and the call is the outturn hit on the red. She'd be quite happy to remove the yellow one from the back 8 foot as well.
Yeah, that she'd be really happy with that, so she can get 7/8 of that rock, take out the red and the yellow.
There's contact, hits and rolls.
Yeah. And that's probably not the shot she wanted with a 4-point lead. And you can see that Brianne's just said, I want to just bump that yellow straight back into that hole. So that they got a wall of 3 rocks.
Brianne.
Starting to move now. Whoa. Hitting about half.
Okay, don't roll the red one.
She did tap it back, not as far as she wanted to, but...
Yeah, she threw the weight she wanted, but unfortunately it wasn't moving, so they couldn't sweep it. She wanted to throw about that 13 seconds. She threw a 12.91, and if they could have swept it, it would have been a perfect shot on the nose. Still some difficulty with 3 in the background.
Doig will throw an in-turn hit at it. She'd like to remove a red and at least 1 yellow from play. Curls across, picks it out.
Yeah, you're right, Resby. It would have been nice. She would have loved to have taken that corner yellow off, but 4-point lead. You just want to eliminate the rocks, challenge them to make the better shot. But there's way too many yellows behind that tee line.
Line's a little tighter.
So again, the call for Brianne Knapp is her outturn, a draw, a tap the yellow one back into the gap between the 2 yellows to build a solid wall, leave a rock on the button or in the 4-foot circle.
Right to it.
Hard right to it. Hard right to it. You can bounce. You can bounce. Yep. Hard. Good, Brianne. Okay.
Nice weight, just a beautiful weight, just a little bit overcurled. That time they were just playing the freeze versus the tap, and just curled over her hair. So this gives Penny an opportunity to eliminate a lot of rocks, even a nose hit. I think the red goes and sits on top. But her first priority is just get rid of the red rock.
True, yeah. It's an 88. It's firm. Right.
Penny Barker, her first rock of this 5th end.
Half a rock would be nice. Okay. Stay up here, Penny.
You heard her say a half rock would be nice, and basically that would clear all of the rocks out of the 4-foot circle.
Yeah. And you heard the discussion on weight. They didn't want to go with that peel weight shot. They wouldn't have minded the shooter stand high in that 4-foot. She threw that 8.5 is what they talked about, and she threw an 8.33, and so she got eliminated 3 rocks. So Brianna's still going to try to make that freeze, set up some angles, and hope produce.
One that we keep going to. It is just. It's just biting the back 8.
They'll follow that same line that they've been throwing, that in-turn draw to the back rock now in the 8th, just off the center line.
Speed's nice here.
Mayor's first rock of this fifth end.
Okay.
I think I'm light.
4. Okay, like 4, 3. Okay, whoa. Where do you want?
Where are we at?
We're just short. That's fine. It's heavier this way, hey? Did you know that? Okay.
Whatever way you
Yeah, exactly. Can we top 8, hey?
I think it's probably fine. I just think it gives us something to work with. But I think it's slightly different path.
I think I like that one.
I'm gonna say 14.
14-2. Yeah, maybe 14-2 on this side. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Just because it might hang and then curl late.
It just curls. Yeah, when it curls, it dies so much.
Like, I think I'm keeping, unless she's a bad throw, you're probably on, okay?
Think of 14-2 or 14?
That's what we were thinking.
14-2, yeah.
Okay. We'll probably stay on it.
Okay. Give me it more. Yeah, even more.
I like that. Well,
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that's good.
Okay.
So Penny Barker will throw the out-turn draw.
I haven't given you much there.
On that side, I guess so.
Yeah.
On the other side more.
Yeah.
My draw here curled a lot, so well, I'll just stay on it just to.
This is Penny's final stone of this fifth end. The score is at this point 6-2 for the Barker team. They scored that big four-ender in the fourth end. Barker's out-turn draw attempt. She wants to be on the center line, full 8 foot, perhaps bite the 4 foot circle, thereby forcing Mayer to go wide in turn draw. She comes deep to the 4 foot, leaves Mayer a wide open routine tap for a single point.
Yep, if she could have got another half to 3/4 rocks movement, her weight was perfect. And you heard the girls talking about the weight on the rock, talking it clean, and they did jump it early, which just left that rock not an opportunity to get that early movement, and so probably why it hung a little more than they'd hoped.
Maybe just a hair less.
Trailing 6-2, Van Meer must make this shot. It's wide open. Just get to the nose of it for a single point.
Whoa. Stay close. Clean. Clean.
Easy.
Oh. Clean.
Whoa.
She's good.
Curls to the face of it.
Nice throw.
Perfect contact. Rolls a little bit. Single point. Brianne Mayer scores a single to trail 6-3 after 5 completed ends. Let's just look at that again, Lauren.
Yeah, she had 11-second wait, came down to that soft weight, and beautiful nose hit, facing 3. And that's not when you got more rocks in play, it's always a little bit tougher shot.
We'll be back with the sixth end. Lauren, you and I have hung around this sport for quite a long time. What made you think that it was possible to create a reliable rock throwing machine?
Well, Chris and I have been thinking about this for a year and a half, 2 years, and we had worked with so many teams, so many coaches, and so many players that there needed to be a way to do a consistent machine. So we, through casual conversations, we found a Manitoba company right in Winnipeg, and he said he could do it. We didn't believe it, but he did.
Who is it?
Bill Bernardin with Eastcan Automation is the president of the company, and we've had so much fun putting this together with him.
How does it fit in your program?
Well, and many companies have tried to do this in the world, but we believe this is the first accurate one. And so what it does for us is because the machine throws every rock the same every time, it just sets us up so that the curlers can work with it to figure out their sweeping techniques, figure out everything they want to learn about what we were guessing at over the last 50 years.
there are so many variables: rotation on the rock, weight on the rock, line of delivery. All of this is taken into account?
Absolutely, and we're now working with the Curl Manitoba Next Gen teams as our research team, and we now have them working to define and quantify every aspect of what they're trying to do. Do you sweep early? Do you sweep late? When do you do it? That kind of thing. So we're just having a lot of fun right now gathering that database. But one thing we have tested and know is the machine is 99.9% accurate. The variables can be rocks, ice conditions, humidity, and the list goes on.
And my skip wants one for when I curl with him on Tuesday nights at Fort Rouge. We'll have more Dekalb SuperSpiel in a moment. Well, the sixth end is underway here at the Morris Curling Club, and things not going the way the Mayor team would want. The opening rock of the end needed to be in play as a guard, obviously, and was just short, was a hogged rock, and so this one, the Barker shot is heavy. That wasn't the plan either.
But heavy is a good miss, and so that she's not too concerned about that. She wants to make sure she gets this one end. Your closing comment on that fifth end break recipe about your skip wants us to get you a rock thrower machine. The rumor is that you probably need a lot more than the rock thrower machine, but anything would help.
Actually, he would probably tell you what I first need is a physical conditioning program is really what he would say. The second shot of this sixth end for Sarah Neufeld, and it is now the long center guard, and a long way back for the Mayor team.
Yeah, and that first guard that didn't go over the hog line in this four-rock rule, that you got to get those two guards up front, get something going. Penny is just electing to put another one on the side, and she will choose which side she wants this rock to go to, whether the in-turn side or the out-turn side, because she's thinking ahead to which way do I want to peel those guards. So obviously, I'd be surprised. I haven't watched her a lot, but if she doesn't, she wants to throw the out-turn peels. So that's why she put this rock on the in-turn side.
And just deep of the tee line. Mayor will play another guard.
I think top 12, you'll count that one's not bad.
Yeah, okay.
So just biting top 8.
Okay.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, Curtis Rexidler's been keeping some percentages for us, and the two top shooters in the game so far are, interestingly enough, the Saskatchewan lead, Danielle Szynski, who's got a cumulative percentage of 83%, and Manitoba skip, Brianne Mayer, is shooting at 85%. But the two teams, stats-wise, are very even at 71% for Barker's team, 72% for the Mayer team. But the stat that really matters is the 6-3 score, isn't it?
Well, and that's when you look at that scoreboard, it all came down to one shot. If Penny doesn't make that shot, it's a 1-point game, one way with your steal, or she gets one. So big shots really change ends, and Penny made a great one, and that's where Brianne's got to take confidence. Like, they're throwing okay, they're making some shots, they're just got to be patient. They made a great draw there. Now Saskatchewan's going to do that out-turn peel.
The interesting thing about keeping statistics on a game like this, Lauren, and you make the point that double kill for 4 was obviously a full points kind of shot, bonus points if you're using any kind of a bonus system, but a miss on that changes the game completely, and also changes the shooting percentages significantly. So it's individual situations.
Yeah.
Line's good.
So Brianne's going to put another center guard in, and it was a great draw for her to come first shot behind the guard, because she'll move in, put it in a forced position if the end continues, and leave Penny facing 2, and if there's a rollout, she steals 1, and then the game moves on. You got to take it one shot at a time, and hope that she gets a nose hit here on a peel.
A little more weight.
Second Lorraine Schneider. Rolls to a corner guard position, covering her own stone. Mayer will play center guard halfway in, a little more than halfway in.
Yep. And for Penny, she would have been just as happy rolling that yellow guard right out of there. But it's because that, if she got into a situation, that guard is in a position that can affect her out turn draw. So it's a high enough guard, and so she would have been more than happy to have it right out of the rings.
Brianne Knapp, her first shot of this end.
Okay, line's good.
Whoa, easy.
Line's good.
Nice, good. Good shots, guys.
Great communication in that guard, and we see so many skips point to the front end that we want to guard the kind of point the broom. Brianne went right out front, put her broom on that Dekalb logo and said, so I want that guard right here. And that's huge for the sweepers because with the movement in the ice, she ices for a specific spot, and the sweepers did a great job of putting it right where she wanted it.
Out turn hit from Deanna Doig. Just hanging wide. Test rubs it, removes that yellow stone from the back of the rings.
Okay, there's repositioning a rock off the board. Now it gives Brianne an opportunity. We got a bit of a miss here. Got rid of that black yellow, so she doesn't have to worry about giving up a deuce. So now she's going to put the same kind of guard.
And the interesting thing, Lauren, the rub on that previous guard moves it over so that now the in-turn draw to the 4-foot circle is also taken away.
Absolutely. I mean, if she continues to put this guard, even with a rock only in the 8-foot, forces Penny to a whole different kind of draw and coming across and catching a small part of the 8-foot.
Sarah inside.
Sarah inside. Yeah, gotta finish it to the line.
Your edge to edge.
Hard to the line. She's getting better now. Please. Yep. Nice, good one.
Beautiful guard. She wanted this one a little bit higher, and that's exactly where they put it. Great communication. She wanted it just an inch off the line. It's a perfect spot. Yeah. This is a good call by Penny to change turns because she doesn't want to hit it high, come off that other red, roll another one into the rings. If things go bad, her giving up a 1 at this point isn't all bad, but she certainly doesn't want to give up a 2.
In-turn hit from Deanna Doig. She will hit it. She'll roll away.
Yeah, and a good shot.
It's like...
Yep, so Brianne wants the identical shot.
Doesn't come down too bad.
Yeah?
It's okay.
A little stickier for guard weight? Okay.
Just a hair.
As Brianne's is good. This has to almost touch the line.
Great communication with the sweepers.
This water is not bad up here. This way this time.
First shot of the 6th end for Brianne Mayer.
Room.
Plays the guard. She wants to be at the top of the Dekalb logo, just about touching the center line.
Line's great. Weight only here. You might have to finish
Where
it
is
there. Just past the Dekalb. Okay, it's getting there then. Line will get there.
Sit down.
Good.
A little deeper than she wanted, but
Line was good though. Line is critical, but it does give Penny the opportunity to get the double peel and the coming across the hog line just a little bit stronger and came a little deeper, but still a good guard. Yeah.
can go the other way.
So she's played this shot with the in-turn and the out-turn in the last 2 rocks. She puts the broom right in the center of the rock, so that doesn't even tell me what turn she's going to throw.
I think what she was trying to look at there was to figure out, the way she should, I think she wants to play it is to play it going across the face, because the last thing she wants to do is bump that rock in behind that corner red. So I think she's trying to set it up as the safer way to peel is drive that top rock across the left-hand side of what we're looking at is of the shooting rock.
Sure.
But she'll be happy with anyway if she can get them both out.
Penny Barker, final stone of the 6th end. Barker leads 6-3. In fact, it's not her final stone, it's her first shot of this 6th end. Nose contact, makes contact, and gets the double kill.
Great shot, great shot. She came across the piece, but she still leaves Brianne with me. What a great shot. Good as she could do with the tight guard.
She gets that double kill and rolls across. It does leave a very usable guard for Brianne Mayer.
Yeah, and because that was a well-placed guard, she had no option. If she was going to make the double, she was going to leave something. Good news is that yellow's in a tighter position. She can reuse that stone if she needs to make a run back again.
So this is Brianne Mayer's final stone of the 6th end. Mayer trails 6-3. The women's final of the 10th anniversary Dekalb SuperSpiel.
Room now.
No, line should be fine. It'll get there.
We've got room though.
Actually, Sarah in front. Sarah in front. She's taking its time.
Okay, as far back as you can take this.
Go back.
Yep, you got it. Keep it moving.
Hard, go back. Hard, hard,
Top of the
hard.
rings
Keep
into the
going.
forefoot. She's not going to be buried.
Beautiful weight. She's maybe a third tucked, but a very makeable shot. It was great weight. Timed at 14.2, so the ice has stayed consistent from the first end. So very comfortable draw weight, just a little more finish, and she would have had a beauty.
But for Penny Barker, an opportunity to blank this end and go to the 7th end with the hammer.
Yeah, and she's happy with a 1 point. Her nose hit is fine, but most importantly, she needs to remove that rock.
Hook turn hit up the center line. Past the guards, into the rings, hit, rolls away. Barker and her team from Moose Jaw blank the 6th end. The score is 6-3 for Barker of Saskatchewan over Brianne Mayer of Manitoba. We'll be back with the 7th end of the 10th anniversary women's final in just a moment. As a member of the arena committee, you're a hockey person more than a curling person, but it must be intriguing to watch the transformation of the arena each year.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see, especially the first year, how a building like this can be dressed up for curling, and also then afterwards to have some of the top curlers in the world be curling out of here.
It's important for an arena like this in a small community to get this kind of maximum usage.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're always working at filling up our slots here, and it's good to see that, and also from a volunteer perspective, just to see other people that normally don't volunteer in this facility come out to volunteer at a curling event, and which they would not during hockey.
In the broader Rosenort community, what's the reaction to the Bonspiel bean?
It varies a bit from year to year, and you always have the hardcore curling fans that come out and that have curled in Morris that come here and are very passionate about it. And then there's those that are your casual fans that come out because of the star attraction of the certain world-class curlers that come here. and then there is some people that come just because it's something to do.
We'll be back with more Dekalb SuperSpiel coverage in just a moment.
Well, we're back for the 7th end of the women's final game of the Dekalb SuperSpiel. The score 6-3 for Barker of Saskatchewan over Brienne Mayer of Manitoba. And first rock in play is a long center guard. Barker will go to the outside.
Yeah, and Brienne's going to do that. Penny got the blank, so she wants to play that simple end just to keep things open, and Brienne will throw the second guard and try and make things happen.
Well, while this final game in the women's has been underway, the semifinal games on the men's side of the draw have been underway, and we now know who the finalists will be. We will have the final game of the men's side of the Bonspiel beginning at 7 o'clock, and it will feature an international game. Yannick Schwaller and his team from Switzerland won their semifinal game, and they will play Dylan Johnston from the city of Thunder Bay. Now, my friend Lauren has written somebody else's name on the draw, but I'm assured that the Johnson team scored 3 coming home to beat Hayden Forrester. So it'll be Johnston and Schwaller playing in the men's final. In the women's game that we're watching, Brienne Mayer threw that center guard to start. Barker went deep. Mayer goes around to the center of the rings. Barker does have last rock in this 7th end, having blanked the 6th.
Yeah, and she's setting the end up to try and score some points, and they're debating the tick shot, and that's what they're going to try. When you showed that last interview at intermission, we brought curling into the Rose Nord area for the first rock was ever thrown in Rose Nord in 2:15. So it's been pretty exciting for the Rose Nord community.
It's been a vital relationship, hasn't it? That needed that extra ice and that extra community, a community of volunteers, if nothing else, but also some sponsors, but to make this Bonspiel, to help this Bonspiel grow.
Well, yeah, and we needed the big ice, and so now we've got 11 sheets of ice that we can run, and next year we hope to be back to 64 teams, and to start on a Friday and finish on a Monday, you need a lot of ice to get that job done, and it's great to be in the Rose Nord community with a new set of volunteers. And over the 10 years of Dekalb, we've had 375 volunteers.
The arena opportunity for some of the teams, many of the teams who play in this Bonspiel over the years have all kinds of arena curling experience, but this Bonspiel has also been a first arena curling experience for many teams.
Absolutely, and the big draw for Manitoba teams is when they come and curl in Rose Nord in mid-November. They are playing with the same rocks, the same ice conditions, and the same ice maker that they're going to play their Scotties Championship on or their Viterra Championship on. We use the Curl Manitoba rocks, so it's a great opportunity for Manitoba teams to get onto that arena ice.
So as we've chatted there, the Mayer team has a pair of rocks in the 4-foot circle, and Barker has moved to remove that long center guard.
Yeah. Mayer's team has set up 2 really nice rocks in that next area, enough separation on them, and now if she puts those guards on, she's in a great position for a steal.
Positioning of this guard is critical, isn't it, Lauren? Too long and it's really not good enough, and too short, it allows the run back.
Yeah, I would suggest you'd want that just outside the Dekalb logo, right on the center line. Get some separation, but she still needs to cover that front rock.
2.5. 2. Line's good. Okay, 2. Halfway.
Okay, yeah, a little bit.
Okay, just before the Dekalb here.
Okay. Yeah, hard. Yes, hard. Good, nice.
Exactly where she wanted to put it. She's going to try a bit of a slash double. Oh, she's looking possibly the other one.
I get the top. Yeah, that's fine. If you hit what you can see, you'll. Sorry. If you hit what you can see, I'll kill this.
Okay.
I just like 9-5 though. We gotta hit exactly that. 9-5. Okay.
So she's going to go throw that 9-5 weight. She wants to throw that normal. She wants to get a bit of movement after the guard. And if she ticks the guard, she's happy. But if she can get around that guard, she feels there's a chance for that double.
9-5. Oh, close. Yep.
It's an in-turn hit for Lauren Schneider. Does not get past the guard, removes the guard, but as Lauren said, removing the guard is the good miss on that instance. This Mayer has to continue to replace that guard.
Great communication on the front end, and teams with this experience of both teams.
Yeah, so like right here.
Just bite center?
Yeah.
Bite center.
Just to finish that shot, the sweepers learn to recognize the weight on the shot, and if you heard the minute it was released, they said 9-5, and that shot was actually 9-4. So on a huge communication to the skip, knowing exactly what's coming down the ice.
Line's good.
Right now. Full line.
Line's good.
Full line.
Line should be okay. If anything,
Team
it might
Mayer will
overthrow.
replace the guard again. Brianne Knapp, third.
Line's okay.
Her first stone of the end.
Yeah, it's okay. Clean
Shoulder
it.
curling. Whoa.
Clean it. Clean it. It's fine.
Leave it.
Okay.
Leave it.
Let it die.
Okay. Sorry,
That's okay, Brianne. That's good too.
Moved a lot.
Great line on the guard, as you said, Resby, a minute ago. Probably the guard a little bit too tight. It gives them a few better options on getting one of those out.
Can I wait?
Go peel.
Okay. Got it.
So she's moved up to the peel weight on this one.
Run it through to pick the one out of the front of the 8-foot circle. Or
Yeah.
simply peel it away.
Whoa! Danielle, go! Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go! No, roll it on.
Or run it straight back and jam it on the yellow rock in the back of the 12-foot circle. That yellow rock was probably never going to come into play, but it turns out it did in a positive way for the Manitoba team.
Absolutely, adds a little more pressure to the next few shots, and and that's curling. If she gets an inch more of that rock, it's a great shot, and she does remove the front one, but she got the jam on the back.
So Brianne Knapp again will attempt to replace the guard. She wants to be a little bit higher than it was last time.
Clean it if it's good. Line's great. Halfway.
Jack, keep it out there. It's really starting to really curling again.
It's got no, it does go more. Hard for curl. Hard for curl. Yep. Hard. Hard. Really hard. Yes, hard. Hard.
Oh, good sweep, guys.
Good sweep.
Okay. Just a 9-5. Okay.
Leaves that rock half open on the center line. Barker calling for a hit. She thinks a double is possible.
Yeah, I think she got a little more room than the last time she threw this 9-5. So this is a matter of the thrower just seeing their pre-shot, hitting that broom, and that guard isn't even there.
If she does make the double, she'll roll across behind the yellow guard and probably take the other one out of play as well. But again, she rubs that guard, rolls harmlessly out of play.
Yeah, they let up for that second on it and made some movement, and so Brianne still got the opportunity to put up another guard, and she's in a very strong position in this end.
Same thing. Halfway to like on the Dekalb is good.
Okay.
Skip rocks to come here in the 7th end. Barker leads by 3, but Mayer currently lying 3 and attempting to put a guard, center line guard. on the Dekalb logo.
And you talk about like front ends and how important they are. Those first 4 rocks of this end were set up beautifully by the Meyer team.
Line's a bit tight,
And that puts the opposition in a lot of trouble. It puts them in a position that they got to make some doubles, or they got to make something out of those to get out of this end. And then the back end here is followed up with some great guards and put Manitoba in a great position.
Now this one goes a little deep over curls. It's not the guard she was calling for, and yet these rocks are not in a bad position.
Yeah, certainly a mistake. Penny's looking at the back one here. They're going to look at the options. She could play the front 2 and the 12-foot roller shooter off, which opens up the shot rock. So they'll look at all the options and decide which one Penny is most comfortable herself throwing.
I think you'll be able to roll the shot, but that's okay. I mean,
This is probably a call that's dictated by the score, Lauren.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. Geez, great minds think alike. But no, it is a scoreboard call, no question, because if she gives up one, it doesn't matter. She can eliminate these 2 rocks, and if she hits it right, there's even a possibility she could roll in for second shot, and then Brianne is in a position where she's got to make a decision, and so Penny wants to make sure she doesn't give up more than 2 is her max.
That out-turn draw to the one in the 4-foot that she looked at is a precision shot that she's not afraid to make at a different time in a different game. But as we say, this is the shot based on a 3-point lead playing the 7th end.
That's right.
Still going back. Whoa!
Parker's first rock of the end, a little bit wide. She gets a jam. Mayer still lies 3.
Yeah. So now Brianne's going to think, okay, where exactly do I want to put this rock to make that shot the most difficult?
She can't draw this way anymore. Yeah. And if we go high enough that she can't double and sit for one, because that one will be... Oh wait, she might actually be sitting for one.
She can just double them off. You got to give it to her.
I think we go here.
Just make her double real hard.
Yeah.
Right there. So that she has to cross them. If we go here...
I think it makes her double easier.
Which one?
If we go 2 and then she just has a nose hit. I guess she wouldn't have.
No, if you took a piece.
Oh, yeah. Then what does she do?
What does she do?
She goes for this one, I guess. But that's tough too.
I think this might be the fun.
Just tuck it in there. Yeah. It would suck to leave this one open. That's the only danger.
But if you're this deep and you overbury, she can't play weight at it. It's really tough.
Yeah, pretty much take middle and go right there. Right?
Yeah. You like just tuck in just a hair?
Even this isn't bad.
No,
yeah, she has this to cut us down to 1, like just a nose.
They have been having a hard time with that spot though.
We're just trying to think, how can we steal more than 1?
Yeah, that's
we could be right here.
She'll play the crotch double, and
I almost think we have
one.
to be a little higher.
Yeah.
So that she can't outcount that. That might be good.
That's
right here.
But then if we go here, what does she have if we go here?
Take away everything, but
no.
I think
that has more risk, only because if I leave this one totally open, she's like, oh, thanks, I have an open hit from one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
kind
of what I was thinking.
Yeah, because then if we're a little force her to play this spot they've had hard time with.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, let's do that.
You're giving her this double?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
For sure.
Some interesting conversation there, Lauren. It's, in the end, you can't take away every possible double combination. So.
No, and it was a great discussion. And I think what Brianne was, she would like to steal 2. So where can she put that rock to do that? She liked the idea of partly tucking, but boy, that's a difficult shot, which could set up a 2 or 3. So if she could get this rock full 12 in the ring, so that if she hits that right-hand rock that's just biting the 8 on the nose, she won't be able to get 2, or she won't be able to cut her down to 1. So she wants to try and set this up so she can steal that deuce.
Final shot of the 7th end for Brianne Mayer. Barker does have last rock. It's an out-turn draw. Wants to be full 12 foot.
Okay, just bite the 8's perfect. Line's okay.
Line's good.
Line's okay.
Line's
Bite the
good,
8
not
foot.
deep.
Bite the 8 foot. Bite the 8 foot. Even. Gotta be even. Gotta be even. Go hard. Hard.
Go.
Good sweep. That's good.
Said anywhere here.
Yeah, we changed our minds because if she knows of this, now we're shot.
Okay, we have to know it.
Make the double.
Just a draw, eh?
Stick around. Or do we? Yeah, I think we make this double.
That one's still going to be shot.
But it's only for one. Because our thrown rock will. Our thrown rock.
I'm just looking at the back one, Penny.
I think. Should be okay?
Should be. Just so we're kind of
3/4
to make
just
the
with
double,
the
right?
9/5.
Okay.
I think.
She's just going to try and get the double, right?
Okay. We might even get shot.
Well, we do have to roll a bit.
Yeah.
So it sounds as if, Lauren, that thrown rock did get just deep enough that it is a factor in the conversation. We were thinking it might have been a little too short, but nose hit on the one on the right-hand side of center would still leave that one counting. So she's playing the double kill, trying to peel that one on the right side of center, along with the rock that's in the 4-foot circle, and then see where hers rolls to.
Yep, and she's got to be very, very careful on this. I mean, she doesn't want to hit it a little bit on the high side and roll her shooter out and possible jam. So I think her first priority is to get to that nose a little bit high and keep her shooter in the rings.
Penny Barker's final stone of the end, the final stone of the 7th end. It's an in-turn hit in a path just thrown by Barker. It was just a little wide on the first one. This one appears to be over curling. We're going to get to the nose of that rock. And now we will find out whether or not that red rock was swept deep enough. It would appear to be.
Looking at the monitor, a steal or two.
Kicked off quite quickly. We'll hang on until we see them mark the scoreboard, if they mark it promptly for us. Not going to happen. A little bit of conversation. We'll be back to tell you for sure that it was a deuce. We think it was, meaning that Barker will lead Mayer by a score of 6-5 coming home. We'll be back with the final end in just a moment.
Hundreds of Canadian letter carriers are injured each year due to falls on icy private walkways. Not to mention countless other Canadians. This year, please keep your walkway clear of snow and ice-free.
For the safety of you, me, and everybody.
This is art. This is art. This is Winnipeg. This is Winnipeg Art. We want to see your creation. To get your work onto Winnipeg Art, email us at createtv@shaw.ca.
Well, the final end is underway. We're in the Morris Curling Club. It's the 10th anniversary Dekalb SuperSpiel women's final game. And Team Mayer has changed the momentum of this game after giving up 4 in the 4th end to go down by a score of 6-4. Scored a single in the 5th. Barker blanked the 6th. And now, after stealing 2 on the 7th end to trail 6-3 coming home, the Manitoba team, Brianne Mayer and her team, have begun as logical and predictable to put up a long center guard. Barker's decided to go behind it.
Yeah, and that guard so long that she is coming behind it. That was just a great team shot on Brienne's last end. It just, if she's an inch shorter, then Penny hits it and they only get the steal of one, and if she's a foot longer, she takes that front nose double. So it's a great team shot, and Penny was within an inch of making the perfect double, and then she would have got one, and that's just the game of the curling, is the right and the wrong side of the inch, but it's going to make for an exciting last end.
So Danielle Sosinski's first rock draws open, biting the edge of the button. Mayer goes to the other side to put up a guard.
Yep, she wants those two tight guards. She wants them direct in line, so if you do make a double peel, you're leaving that guard, your yellow rock out front. She's going to continue to throw those guards and wait for her shots to make the move to score that game-tying single.
Okay, still got a cat. Three. Still hasn't curled yet.
3. Just biting.
Yeah, a little bit for you. Okay, nice. That's good. Come on.
Rock was a little deeper than she would have wanted, but it accomplishes some of the objective of cluttering up that side.
Well, and she got behind the center guard, so there's no play on it for Penny, so she's elected to draw another one in full 8, and a little bit change in where she went in the earlier ends, but on a 1-point lead, she wants to set up that rock in the forefoot, and then she'll start peeling on the second rocks.
Sosinski's draw, a little bit heavy. She taps that rock to the center line, rolls to the corner of the 4-foot circle.
Yeah, this is not what she wanted. Now all Brienne wants is just top position on those two rocks. Doesn't need to be shot at this point. Just get that red rock somewhere in that top 4 range in front of those yellows, and put Barker in a very difficult position early in the end.
Hot.
Okay. Stay close.
Janelle Vachon, her first shot of the end.
Line's good.
Keep tapping a bit.
Stay close. Make sure it's there. It can be here. Gotta redo it. Line's really good.
Okay, good shot.
Just a little
Really
tap.
good, Janelle. Good job.
Great shot. Great shot. Probably she got it in behind the guard. Gives her a bit of an option. Penny will play it tight. I was just going to play it. If she gets by, if she hits the front one, it's a long enough guard, she should be able to get by it if her weight is right. She just wants that back line weight.
We have to get shot with this one, or else there's too much going on.
I'm just thinking kick it back. At least ours is under, because then
Just back line.
Okay.
Second, Lorraine Schneider.
So like 90 for me?
Yeah.
Close. Little firm.
Whoa. Whoa, close. No.
Yes, yes.
No, no.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Starts to dive. Are they going to get past the guard at the top of the 12-foot circle? They just do.
That's good, though. That's good.
Beautiful shot. Well
Taps red
swept.
onto yellow. Opens things up. Manitoba still, Mayor team still shot stone biting the button.
She will have this
Can we hit and roll up the wide one?
in here. We could do that. That's not bad.
She's going to play it if we don't, I think.
Yeah, she's playing this for sure, I think, no matter what.
She might
How much can you see of it on this way?
A thin half. Right there.
Okay.
Like, it's like a thin half.
So I think this is her shot for sure then.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we could do this. Just get in there. But such that we'd be under her still. Or we just guard this side right here
She's just going to,
and force her that way.
Because we can always do this later.
If they pick ours out, they're rolling away, then we bury one. Like, it's not bad to guard this side, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can come
But
down.
that yellow's
You can
also not easy to get at. So.
So while she's coming down, then this is what they're looking at too. They've got to think 3, 4, 5 shots ahead. As Brianne mentioned, that rock, the yellow rock sitting on the right side of the tee line, that's a shot that Brianne can use any time to roll in for second shot, possibly steal the win. They know Penny's going to make a move on that front yellow, so it'd be interesting what they come up with. Probably too early to play the one on the tee line. That's kind of a saving shot. So we'll see what they come up with.
The interesting situation, more Yellowstones in the 4-foot circle than I'm sure Penny Barker would have wanted going into the start of this end. Barker, the Yellowstones do have last rock in this end. They lead by 1. The Yellowstones lead 6-5. And the discussion is as much what are we going to leave Penny Barker as what do we do ourselves, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's not, in most cases, it's not what you make, it's what you leave. And so they're trying to, it's like a chess game. And with everything on the line right here in the last hand, if I make this move, what move do they make? And then what's our next shot? So they're trying to think ahead 2 or 3 shots, look at the angles coming in, and figure out what works best for them at this time.
Or we just, no, I was going to say just take it out. But.
The conversation revolves around do we play the out turn to cover our shot stone? Do we play an in-turn guard to cover the tap? Or do we play the hit and roll off the one on the outside of the 4-foot?
Yeah, because we can hit it a few different ways. Yeah, because we don't really have to remove it, we just have to use it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so they've elected to play this shot. So they want to get the roll in on it because Penny doesn't have a clear shot at her yellow with any weight. So she wants to roll right over on the button, then she can't get there. I don't think she wants to sit right nose there because then it gives Penny the option to make that inside roll.
So it's Janelle Vachon.
Bumper. Yeah.
An in-turn, bumper weight hit, wanting to contact the rock on the outside edge of the 4-foot circle and roll it to the button. Starting to take off.
Stay close.
Gets the contact she wants. She gets the roll she wants.
Nice.
Right dead to the button.
Exactly what they called. Exactly what they called. Now Penny's going to play that slight tap back.
Replay shows you just a wonderful touch.
Yeah, great communication on the shot. It's exactly where they wanted and rolls exactly where they talked about.
But to use an expression you've used a few times, Lauren, the yellow rock does have the top position, and a back ring kind of draw tap puts a yellow rock right on the button, and the redstone's in trouble.
Yeah. Very difficult shot though, because remember when she played that yellow, it just haired that one in the 12-foot. So she's trying to duplicate that shot with just a hair more weight, because the last time she just bumped that one back button. So she needs a wee bit more weight. Still got to get the finish. So
it is Lorraine Schneider, second on the Barker team. Her second shot of the end. A little overweight. Not going to come up at all.
Yeah, just a little bit extra weight, and she hung out there, and now now puts Brianna in a position to get that guard on that yellow.
Yeah, just gotta be over here.
The guard that Brianne Muir talked about playing with the previous shot.
Tucked behind that one.
Well, now
We just line's most important.
That was such a great shot on the previous one with the red team to get that roll to the button. If she sits where wide open, it's a whole different game. But it was a great hit and roll. Now can put a lot of pressure on Penny's team. So this guard is about position, and almost the longer the better, because if it comes too tight, she's going to run it in on the yellow. So she wants to be halfway between the Morris Curling Club logo and the Dekalb, probably about the L and the Dekalb. She doesn't want to be in tight.
2, 8. Make sure.
So it is Brianne Knapp with her first rock of this final end, or potentially final end. Not the length that you talked about, Lauren. Maybe not. Might have been nicer if it had come a little closer to the center line, but it really does solve most of their problems.
Yeah, it's. I'm just looking at it from behind here. She may have a rock and a quarter on the straight line, so the shot is still there, but a pretty good guard. But she's going to try and come through that hole, so it's got a precise shot, but certainly doable.
The Barker team, in fact, made 2 shots like this in an extra end in their semifinal game. One, it was closer to the center line, and then the other one, the last rock of the game, was through a staggered port, the opposite stagger to this one. But they'll simply remove the guard, roll it across to the other side.
And she wants to keep that guard going because she's still got a shot at this red one on the out turn.
If this does prove to be the final end of the game, we will have a quick interview, a post-game show interview with the winning skip, and then we invite you to stay with us for the presentation of the trophy and the prize checks. For the first half of our doubleheader tonight, we will have a 7 o'clock game between Yannick Schwaller and Dylan Johnston in the final of the men's division. Knapp's guard comes a little too deep this time.
Yeah, and gives Penny an option, and she's going to try and play the double peel, which opens up both sides for her. If it was down to a little later shot, she'd probably run the red in, but danger in that, running a red on top of your own. So.
Third, Deanna Doig. Her second shot of the end. Call is the double peel. If she happens to overcurl and run the red in onto yellow, it's not a bad miss, but
yeah, it's a good plan B, and I'm sure Penny's got that in her mind.
Doig, in-turn hit. She will spill both guards.
Yep, yeah. So that's a good shot. Took advantage of a deep guard, opened up the front. Now what she's done is given them a chance to take this back rock out, the back red on the out-turn side here, to preserve a tie if it comes down to that.
So that replay showed you the action on those 2 rocks, and Brianne Knapp sweeping on her 1 rock to get it behind the tee line so that it wouldn't be there for Barker team to hit and roll off.
I just don't want her to.
So now they're looking for replacement of guards.
She can't use it if she can see only nothing.
I know, but if she can't use it at all if it's up here.
Yeah, she only has to touch it.
I know, that's the thing. That's why I don't even want it close.
That's why I want it close.
Do you want further over? Like here?
I want deeper, like here. She's not going to use it.
She just double taps it.
Yeah, I was thinking like this right here.
Yeah.
Off the
that
line
guard's pretty high.
Like tuck a piece behind.
Just, yeah.
Like up here?
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that looks good.
Then she doesn't have the run.
Yeah, I think we just worry about stealing this guy right now. And
yeah. So on the L?
On
AL?
The AL, like right there.
Okay.
That looks good.
Some good wisdom there from Brianne Muir as well, to say, let's just worry about stealing this one right now, and we'll worry about the other one when we see what we get to do next time. But they really do want to focus on that 1 point steal.
Yeah, they've got to get their one, or otherwise the game is over. And if she can put it exactly where she wants to, then Penny's got a decision to make. Because if she makes a move on the back one, then she's saying, well, I probably will give you the tie. But so the guard, the high guard on this one and that Dekalb logo is what she wants at this point, and then see what the next two shots bring.
Brianne Mayer, first rock, an in-turn guard attempt, first rock of the 8th, possibly final end of this Dekalb SuperSpiel final game. She's playing the guard, wants to get to about the Dekalb logo.
Line's good. Line's good. Line's good. We don't leave.
Mayer trails
Anything that's under
6-5.
Line's
Barker
good.
and her
Line's
Moose
good.
Jaw team have last rock.
Right here. Right here. Yep. Yeah, you gotta go a little more for the hole. Gotta go. See, it's good now. Go. Nice.
Well, she's about a foot short of where she called it, so it's a great guard, and now Penny's got to do some thinking.
So if she elects now to play the second shot stone, she's conceding a steal. If she elects to rip the guard, she's leaving herself an opportunity depending on what happens next.
What kind of weight is she going to throw? Like, she's got to move that way. Well, I guess, no, we can just 13-8.
So I'm not...
Even if we come to the back red one. Yeah. Yeah, true.
So she's electing to just play kind of...
Yeah.
I'm not sure what she's playing. I think maybe she's trying to come on top of the yellow and bump that yellow with the out turn.
Yeah.
14 to tee, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
we want to go back 8 or back 4.
Wants to be back 4 foot weight. We know that.
Yeah.
Certainly enough finish around the guard, so maybe she is trying to tap that yellow.
Even more. Yeah.
Penny Barker. Her first shot of the 8th end. An out turn draw. Sosinski and Schneider will sweep. On it and off. Clearly playing the tap.
Danielle! Hard!
Hey, that's okay.
Appears to have promoted the yellow rock up to now be second shot at least.
Yeah. Brianne indicated that was the second shot. Yep. So she wants to.
Absolutely. That guarantees a 1.
Absolutely.
If she misses, we get 2, basically.
Yep.
We go right here. I think so. And if I'm a little short, whatever, but I don't want to. I think if anything, I'll be short, and that's what I'm going to be thinking.
Yeah.
Just because we'll guard. But
yeah, I think we go for it, though.
I think so.
I think you got to go for it.
I like it.
You have your weight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Right from.
Yeah. So sweep for T, and don't bounce, because the more we bounce, the more she has to bounce.
Yeah.
Right here.
Okay.
But just make sure it's there.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So her call is a freeze on the button. Short is her preferred position as a guard. It crosses my mind, Lauren, given the big weight hit that Penny Barker threw in the 4th end, that there's a shot off this outside yellow one to remove both reds and count that yellow stone.
Yeah, I was looking that round the horn as they were talking about that. I would agree with you 100%. She can make that shot.
And I don't think the Mayer team looked at that as a possibility.
Yeah, and I think Brianne in her comments just said, I don't want to be long. If I'm short, challenge her to make that shot. Because if she doesn't want to bump her red at all, which then opens her up to an easier shot. So, but I like what you're thinking. It's going to be see what they decide after the shot.
Brianne Mayer, final shot of the 8th end. Mayer trails 6-5. Lies shot rock. An attempt to freeze on the button, just short, is okay in her mind.
Yeah, then. Whoa, we have room now. We have room.
Shauna Neufeld on the sweep. They're bringing it right tight to that yellow stone. They rub and roll, get exactly the position that they were looking for.
Yep. Great weight, great sweeping. Coming in on the sweeping. If she rubbed that yellow one just a little bit, if she hadn't rubbed it, she would have been even tougher. It gave Penny a bit of an option. But boy, there's looking straight behind it, she's got about a quarter of a rock. So she wants to get by the guard to make sure she hits that first red and gives up the steal of one.
From this overhead camera shot, there is a guard straight up the center line that you can't see, which is covering. There it is, so that she can't throw the big weight hit for the double kill. So it's a case of having enough weight to roll 2 rocks. At the worst, of course, she wants to get rid of 1 red rock and give up a steal of 1.
You're probably never spilling it anyways, Penny, so just throw whatever weight you like.
A 10. I like that. I like a 10. Just a nice weight. Let's go.
So she indicates she wants to throw 10, which will give her a bit of a finish around the guard. With that weight on the 10, she would just about need to get to nose to roll that rock far enough. So she wants, but yet she's only got a quarter. Well, it's a great shot by Brienne, and Penny's got to make a great shot, I think, to give up the steal.
Any kind of contact off center on this rock that was just thrown is going to jam and leave a steal of 1.
Yeah.
So as you say, it's got to curl up, and yet if it curls up, the chance of rubbing the yellow rock is also once it starts to curl. So here we go, the final shot of the 8th end. Barker leads 6-5. The shot facing 2 Mayer stones, past the guard. Comes into contact, makes contact with the first one. Doesn't remove the second one. And there is a score of 1. Mayer has come all the way back from giving up a 4 in the 4th to trail by 4. Has scored a 1, a steal of 2, a steal of 1 now on the 8th end. And we will go to an extra end in the women's final of the 10th anniversary Dekalb SuperSpiel. We'll be back with that in just a moment.
Hundreds of Canadian letter carriers are injured each year due to falls on icy private walkways. Not to mention countless other Canadians. This year, please keep your walkway clear of snow and ice-free.
For the safety of you, me, and everybody.
Well, we're back for the extra end in the women's final of the Dekalb SuperSpiel. Lauren, no matter the outcome of this end, you have to be impressed with the composure of the Mayer team to give up that 4 in the 4th end and then to fight all the way back to score. They took only 1 but stole 2, stole 1. That's an impressive comeback.
Absolutely it is, and we talked about that in the 5th end about Brienne's patience and most importantly making sure she got that 1 point on the board to get their team back in the game. There was, as you said, there was, she gets that 1, she's 3 point down, 3 ends to go, lots of room, and their team has made some exceptional shots, position shots since that end. Barker's team has made good shots, but it's been a well-curled second half of the game.
So the first rock, a Mayer guard, just short of the rings. Barker plays a little chip and roll off it, moves it really out of any place that is particularly useful, and ends up Barker shot stone ahead of it anyway.
Yeah, but a great tick shot to open up that center line.
Key there, Lauren, being that you don't have to remove that red rock from play. You have to remove it from that center line area.
Yeah, and you, if you remove the red rock, then it's going back in the 4-rock rule. So that was a great weight, great team shot. You got to get that rock off the center line, and so they're going to throw another guard. Should be interesting to see whether they try that same tick shot again to get this one off the center line.
Or do you want to hit?
I don't mind hitting.
I kind of like rolling out on that.
Yeah.
Then we've got a...
Yeah, we got a clear house.
Yeah, but...
Well...
Roll out.
Why don't you go top?
You guys like this?
So even if we hit this, they're going around. I agree.
This will give us a pass to peel.
We're sitting for shot. This is a good time to tick. Are we sitting shot?
We are shot. But we don't have a place to peel easily right now. Right?
I still like ticking though, because if they go, we play that, they go around, then we're peeling and trying to chase again.
We're chasing. Okay. Let's try to open it up. Same turn. Yeah. Hack.
So Barker's thought process there was to remove that red rock out of the side of the rings to open up the angle that you talked about to the previous end, to have a wide open angle for the peels on those top rocks. But the rest of the team favored the attempt to tick it off the center line.
Yeah, and Penny wanted her shooter to roll out, and I think part of Penny's thinking may have been it's a much higher guard, so she wasn't worried about it. She could have come around it quite easily, but they just thrown a wonderful tick shot, so the confidence was to throw it again, and if they make the tick shot, then it's great.
Which they did not, and now Mayer will play another guard. Go past that high center guard.
Yeah, and she wants to be precise in that. She wants to get this guard around the red rock, so it's dead in line. So if Barker makes a peel, they're leaving something out front.
Sarah in front. You can make it good, but Sarah has to be in front. It's got tons of room. 6, 5. Getting better. Gotta go. Getting better. Gotta go. Hard. Yep. Go for top four, top button. Top four, top button. Hard. You guys. Go. Keep going. Go. Good call, Sarah. Yep.
That's a great shot. This second's first rock is so important because you want to put it as close as you can to the shot that this one may end up stealing and being the winning shot. She didn't quite get buried, so she's given Penny an option to pick that run out of there because it's such a quality shot.
Out-turn attempt by Lorraine Schneider. Attempting to play past the guard to take the rock out of the 4-foot, but curling up to remove the guard. And rolls away.
Yeah, so that was the plan B. We get the back one, get the front one. This team's got to put on 5 perfect guards here, or otherwise they can peel that one out, and they have got the advantage of the second shot there at the moment. So we'll put the guard on. Penny will keep peeling and wait for the shot to come down to the final rock.
Strong sweep from Knapp and Neufeld. Rock biting the button is partially open. Barker will play it now with the in-turn.
The same kind of thinking. If we can get that one off the button is great, but Removing the front guard isn't all bad. I think she got a little more room on this one than she did on the last one.
Little risk, though. Crashing on the red guard could run the red in onto the yellow rock and roll it back. Strong sweep. Just rubs that guard. And they'll repeat.
On the Dekalb is good.
Right, Brianne, do you want it right in front of the red, or would you rather like a center guard?
In front of the red to erring on the middle in case they do hit it. I don't want to be on this side. So let's straight guard it, but I'll give you Isa if anything you're going this way.
Yep.
It's a great call. She wants to get her guard close to the center line, leave that high side out turn open. So if they do peel it out, she's got the dead center guard to come around to the button.
So it's Brianne now.
3, 3.
Line's good. 2.5.
Line right now. Gotta finish.
Line's great.
Call is a guard close to center line on the Dekalb logo.
Sarah, can you go back?
Really gotta
Only
finish
if you
here.
can. Line's not bad. Line's not bad.
3. No. Almost 4. No. Sit. Okay.
It was a little deeper than she wants, but she got the line that she wanted.
Yeah, just makes that run back double a little bit simpler, but still no easy shot.
I mean, this is more natural, just curls so much. That's okay. 3/4 here. You're 9? 9.
Barker's third, Deanna Doig, her first rock of this 9th end.
Steady up, go. Yeah, clean. Me. Yeah, hard. Whoa.
Gets the double kill she wanted and rolls across center.
Great shot, and the most important thing was to get that rock off the side of the button. And it's just a great shot, great line call, great sweep.
Throughout the game, as we've said, we've had Curtis keeping stats for us, and the percentage on the third for the Barker team has been the lowest percentage of all of the players. But when you see a shot like that, you realize that that really isn't the biggest the thing. It's the shot that has to be made when it has to be made is the key, isn't it?
Well, and this, I mean, a critical shot, a bit of a mistake by Brianne on that deep guard, and we took it. The Barker's team took advantage of it, got a great shot. Brianne's come back with the center guard, and Brianne's last shot will be an out-turn draw around that front yellow if they continue to peel clear. So she's still got something to work with to come around, and Barker just wants to peel the center guard for now and keep that 4-foot open.
Third, Deanna Doig, her second shot of this 9th end. Removes the center guard.
Decision made fairly quickly here. Come down, I think she'll throw one more center guard. But I have been wrong before. I didn't see the exact call, so she might go behind on this one, but
Skip Brianne Mears, first rock of the 9th end. An out turn.
2, 3. All right.
Line's good.
Here would be nice. 2. Here would be
Line's
nice.
good.
Yep.
Sarah in front, it's not quite
Yep.
getting there.
Bring it a bit deeper. Make the peel harder. Go.
Yep, hard.
Just a 2. That's okay. Bring it
Yep.
to center line. Go.
Yep. Keep going hard. You got it. Hard.
Good, Brianne. Nice sweep.
A little bit higher than she wanted. She wanted to get it almost past that Dekalb logo because then the peel was extremely difficult with either turn. It still is, but if it had been on the other side of the logo, then she's got a jam on the left one, she's got a jam on the right one. Now she's debating, is she going to play the draw or the peel?
I think that puts more pressure.
Hasn't been much conversation about playing the peel. There's a lot of conversation about playing the draw.
Even if you get in there top 8, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Top 8.
Yeah,
Top
Penny's
8.
last draw she threw was in the 7th end when she, or in the 5th end when she tried to bury around that god, put it in the open. So there'll be discussion on the weight, and she's going to try and put the pressure on Brianne by coming in top button.
14-5. 14.
14?
Yeah, I think we could get away with a 14-5 if we with a sweep top 8 too. Because we just want to be, we don't want to be more than, I think 14-5. Okay.
14?
I was thinking 14-5. Okay. With a sweep kind of thing. Just because we'd rather error being top 8 than back 4, right? Okay. 14-2? 14-2 would be good. Okay.
Okay.
I think a touch more, actually. Yeah.
Reach close. Lots of room. We're there right now. Line only. All there right now. All there. We're back. No, it's coming down. I just can't touch it.
No line at all.
Do you want me to go? No. No. Yeah.
Go all the way back.
Yeah.
Hard, Danielle, hard.
They talked about her throwing a 14-5 and this would be okay. And she threw that one a 13-8.
Yeah,
just came a little bit strong, so now opens the door for Brianne.
I think you'll get by. I'll try to do it the same.
You'll get by.
Yeah.
Maybe just a hair more.
Yeah, line.
Only wait.
Room.
8.
Room.
9.
Let it die. If it's 9, let it die.
Gotta sit. 10. Gotta sit. Where is it? Gotta sit.
And that might be what they refer to as a disappointing conclusion. Last rock draw goes deep, and
that concludes the end of this game with the steal with the Barker team not having to throw her last shot. And you're watching the 217 Dekalb SuperSpiel on Shaw TV, and we'll be right back with the post-game show and an interview with the winning skip.
Every year, over 1 million Canadian kids write to Santa, and Santa writes back. It's a big job delivering all those letters, so Canada Post has hired some special letter carriers to help out. They have lots of experience making deliveries, and they definitely know the way to the North Pole. Hey, there's Rudolph and the guys now.
This way, guys.
Write to Santa Claus, North Pole, HOH, OHO, Canada. Include your return address, and Santa will write back.
This is art. This is art. This is Winnipeg. This is Winnipeg art. We want to see your creation. To get your work onto Winnipeg art, email us at createtv@shaw.ca.
Hello, who's this? Oh, it's Chloe. Chloe has an idea she wants to share with the world. She picks up her camera, she shoots her video.
Hey, where do frogs keep their money? At the riverbed.
And finally she edits her masterpiece. Chloe then sends her video to Shaw TV, where it can be aired on community producers. It's just that easy. If you want to be like Chloe, email us at createtv@shaw.ca. Community producers, every fortnight on Shaw TV.
It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Now there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
If you got content, we got a place for it. Hit up Create TV at shaw.ca.
Tune into Hot Wheels with a Z and go car racing.
This is my 57 GMC Carpenter school bus.
Think everything about cars and car culture in Manitoba. Get those RPMs up, take the roof down. Check out all the classic vehicles, learning everything about cars and car culture in Manitoba.
It was an extra end dandy. Penny Barker and her Saskatchewan team, a 7-6 victory over Brianne Muir and her Manitoba team. A game that didn't necessarily look like it would even go the full 8, let alone an extra, after a big 4 in the fourth end. They really mounted a wonderful comeback.
They did. We really played a great 5 ends, holding them in the 5th end there even. We were a little sloppy with our execution in the back half. I'm glad that in the 9th there we seemed to pull it back together. But yeah, definitely made it more interesting than we wanted it.
The big shot, of course, you make a double kill in the 4th end for 4. High risk, high reward.
Exactly. By hitting the 1, the most we were going to give up is a steal of 1, and it was tie game at that point. So we thought, let's go for it. It would really... it pays off. So in that case, it didn't really feel like that much was on the line. Yeah.
The Bonspiel Championship, always nice to win a Bonspiel, your name on a trophy, and they're going to give you a nice check here, and that'll pay some bills.
Exactly. Yeah, curlers don't make a whole heck of a lot, so it's really nice that we'll have a few extra funds to pay for some curling bills.
It's been a good week.
It has been a great week, and the host committee here in Morris has been great, and we've had a lot of fun and hope to be back next year.
Penny Barker defeats Brianne Muir 7-6 in an extra end in the women's final of the 2017 10th anniversary Dekalb SuperSpiel. And now we're going to go to Golden West Radio's Clayton Dreger for the closing ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the closing ceremony of the women's draw of the 10th Dekalb SuperSpiel here at the Morris Curling Club. My name is Clayton Dreger, Sports Director at Golden West Radio. And to introduce the title sponsor of Dekalb for closing comments, please welcome Trish Jordan, Public and Industry Affairs Director for Monsanto, Canada.
Thank you, Clayton. Wow, that was an absolutely fantastic game. Both teams, congratulations. You played fantastic. It's you got out to a lead, and then Team Meyer, you guys really battled back, and it was very interesting right up to the end. Saw some great curling, so congratulations to both teams on a well-played game. I'd just like to thank everybody in the Morris Curling Club, the volunteers for putting on another fantastic Dekalb SuperSpiel. We're very, very proud of the fact that we've been able to be involved with the Spiel for 10 years, and just want to thank everybody in the club for all their hard work to put on such a terrific bond Spiel. So congratulations.
Thank you, Trish. I'd like to now introduce Bill Ginter, the Deputy Mayor for the Town of Morris, the official host sponsor.
Thank you. Wow, that was a great final. Congratulations, teams. The Town of Morris has been privileged to be the holding sponsor of the arm of Morris, being the home Manitoba Stampede. Morris has hosted many major curling events, such as the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, the National Mixed Curling Championship, and for the last 10 years, the Dekalb SuperSpiel. Never underestimate the ability of a small community. The Morris Curling Club has had some great improvements over the years. Our training center, complete with the only rock thrower anywhere for advanced training of curlers. A big thank you goes to the organizers, for the many volunteers for ensuring the success of the SuperSpiel, and to the sponsors. Congratulations to the teams that came from many parts of the world with a weekend of great curling. Thank you for choosing to attend this event. We wish you all the best as your curling season continues. Unfortunately, there can be only one champion. So congratulations to Team Barker on winning the 10th annual Dekalb SuperSpiel. Again, thanks to everyone that had a part in making this event a great success.
Thank you, Bill. I'd like to now introduce Leon Friesen, Operations Manager, Meridian Manufacturing, Inc. in Winkler.
Wow, what a great game. Congratulations to both teams on a really well-curled weekend, and Team Barker for the victory. This is such a great tournament in that it's such a grassroots tournament, and so you see that in the volunteers, you see that in the organizers, and you see it in the community and the sponsors. And so just a really big congratulations to all of those involved for making it again a very successful tournament. And Meridian Manufacturing is so proud to be part of this tournament, and we have the opportunity to extend that commitment for another 3 years. So until 2020, we want to be part of this tournament and continue to grow it with the community here. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Leon. We'd now like to present the finalist check of $3,600. Morris Curling Club President Brian Rexsealer will make that presentation to Brianne Mayer, Brianne Knapp, Janelle Vachon, and Sarah Neufeld of the Fort Rouge Curling Club in Winnipeg. And our trophy and check presentation to follow. Our women's champions, the reigning Saskatchewan women's champion, and now the 2017 Dekalb SuperSpiel champion, Penny Barker, Deanne Doig, Lorraine Schneider, and Danielle Sasinski of the Moose Jaw Curling Club. Trish, if you could hand out the trophy. And leave the check, please. Penny, you had to work pretty hard for it. Please come and say a few words for us.
I just want to say a big thank you to Morris and I'm sure the community of Rosenort at the same time. They put on a great spiel. This is actually the first time I've been here, and I would be honored to come back. It was a great spiel. The people were great. Thanks to Brianne and her team for a great final, and to my team for pulling through after a flight canceled. Drove here on Thursday night, and they played the first game without me, and we really had a great time here, and yeah, see you next year.
Congratulations. I'd like to now introduce our co-chairs, Lauren and Chris Hamblin.
I think Lauren's still upstairs. I just want to thank everybody for attending this weekend and helping us with the show. Obviously, the show is our curlers, so thank you all for coming, and certainly for our two finalist teams and our winners. What an awesome display of curling you've given the fans, and we're so appreciative of that. So thank you, and we're certainly glad that you're thinking of coming back next year. That's what makes our event successful, is having teams return. Thanks to Monsanto for our title sponsor, of course. Meridian for being our presenting sponsor, and of course all the other sponsors that make this possible for us. So thanks to everyone for showing up, and of course we hope you'll all come back next year. This was our 10th anniversary, but we don't intend to quit, so we need everybody back again next year.
Thank you, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for attending the closing ceremony for the women's draw. The men's final between Yannick Schwaller and Dylan Johnston will begin at 7:15. Resby?
So, Brianne Muir down 4 after 4 ends, comes back, scores 4. But in the end, it's Penny Barker who scores 1 on an extra end for a 7-6 victory in the women's division final of the 2017 Dekalb SuperSpiel. We'll be back 7:15 with the men's final, an international game between Yannick Schwaller of Switzerland and Dylan Johnston from the Fort William Curling Club. Resby Coots for Dekalb and Shaw here in Morris. We'll be back in a few minutes.